It wouldn't be the 300th episode without a tech blooper, blunder, and boner to start things off. And you know what? The old James would have cracked his pen, thrown it across the living room, have it sail into the bathroom like he did about 200 episodes ago. The current James, problems slide off of his back, down his front, through his pants, and into his shoes. It is Friday, October the 15th, 2021. I am James, you are you, we are here for the 300th episode of the show that has not gone away and will never go away. It is At Home with James. I sincerely thank you so much for tuning in. If there's anything, and I mean anything, that we like to do around these parts of town is have ourselves some festivities. I'm excited. I'm muting myself. I can't think straight. I can't talk straight because tonight is important, as has been many shows throughout the history of this itsy bitsy program, whether it was episode 50, 69, 100, 200, 250, the at-home awards, the tree lighting ceremony, the pumpkin carving contest, countless birthdays. Tonight, we reach heights that we have never seen before. We climb another mountain, we plant our flag, plunging it into the earth, moisture spraying out. And on that flag that flaps in the wind, it reads, At Home with James, episode 300. So many people to thank, all 300 of you. If anything, we've had probably 300 accumulative viewers over the past year and a half. And we've only got about an hour and change to get through all of those thank yous. So I start by saying to one and all of you, the viewers, the audience, the fan base, I appreciate you. I thank you. I love you. I wouldn't mind taking you out to dinner, showing you a good time. Hey, maybe you buy yourself a glass of wine. Maybe we find ourselves in a suite at a hotel. Of course, I won't stay because this is my gift to you. On tonight's show, it is a murderer's row of guests. Much later on, we're checking in with a real wonderkin, Dimitri Kyres, live and in living color. Also joining tonight's program is going to be a man who you know in the chat. How do you know him? Because this guy, all he does is give me a hard time, and I love him for it. He's the sheriff around these parts, Syd Roc, live and in living color. Also tonight, it is the return of one of my favorite segments. It's the Tech Zone with the show's original technical directors, Carla and Dave Kaufman. I put the call out on the light web, on the dark web. I said, have you got any tech-related questions? I can't answer them. I couldn't even unmute myself at the top of the show because I was so fired up. Carla and Dave are back to answer all of your technical needs. They're experts. We're going to put it in their hands, and I assure you that no matter what happens tonight, they're going to guide you down the right path. Joining us in a couple moments is going to be someone who's really been a part of the show since day one, a builder, if you will, a cherished guest, and dare I say, a cherished friend. You know her from her work on the Andrew Carter Morning Show on CJD 800 every Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Friday, and Thursday. Around these parts, I do the days of the week out of order. Please welcome to the show the one and only Sarah Deshaies. Sarah, welcome. You look lovely.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, and a hearty congratulations on your 300th episode. What an accomplishment.
Well, I'll tell you what, we couldn't do it without so many people, and that includes you, Sarah. I'm not just saying that because you're here. I'm not blowing smoke. You were here on week one. I think your first original appearance was episode 2, which I think was probably Tuesday, March 17th, I want to say. I might get the dates wrong, but I'm like 99% sure that I'm right. And you've been here so many times. You've interviewed me on your show, Upstage, on CKUT. Yeah. So from me to you, I say thank you.
Thank you right back. Thank you.
This is a very loving moment, I think.
Truly, I'm touched, and I love being touched. So
Well,
this is
look,
really
here's the
special.
thing. Who's to say that people can't touch each other over Zoom, right? Not me. You know,
Sorry. Yeah.
it's like I felt your fingers grazing past my face, over my nose, and then through my beard. But, the show might get dirty, but that'll be later on. That'll be later on. Sarah, when it comes to you and me, there's no cleaner than you and I think in broadcasting, whether it's you, an actual broadcaster, and
Yeah.
myself, a rogue broadcaster. We keep it clean, I think.
Well, you did do that one whole solo show about being a radio broadcaster. So I'd
Mm-hmm.
say that you're not a complete noob, let's
Hmm.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned the skills on the streets. I'm from the other side of the tracks. And you know what? I was going to say this off the top. I got so excited. There's a lot of haters out there. They thought this little internet show that James is doing, it's never going to last. It's just going to be a flash in the pan. All these other Johnny come latelys came around. And now here we are, 300. Sarah, you and I, we've done this together, I think.
I'm truly so happy to be part of your whole journey.
Mm-hmm.
Really cherishing
Well,
this moment. So thank you.
I love cherished moments. So this is going to be one of 4 cherished moments tonight because it's a super duper packed show. When I was trying to put this together, I thought to myself, for about 300 episodes, I have been interviewing people, guest after guest after guest. And I thought, what if I invited Sarah on, not to interview her, but to ask her to do something for free that she already kind of does every day of the week? And without any type of tone of begrudgingness, you agreed to come onto my show on your night off after a full week of work to interview little old me. Sarah, I can't believe it.
Well, in your defense, it is just a 4-day work week because, Thanksgiving was on Monday.
This is
So
true.
not like too harrowing of a week, and I may have been half asleep at the time that you texted me because,
Mm.
you wake up at 3:30 in the morning. But of course, it's my
Mhm.
absolute pleasure to be here and to be part of this journey. So getting the chance to interview you, a person who's surely learned to kind of like hone his interviewing skills, his chops, like, do you feel like you've improved over the
Mm.
last year and a half when it comes to interviewing people?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's something to be said about interviewing and having chats with stimulating guests, but also guests that maybe they don't give too much in the ways of answers or
Oh,
statements, right? So in those moments, I think you got to work a little harder, try to pull some stuff out, take it on some directions that you find a little curious or interesting. What do you think, Sarah? Is that fair to say? Have I
I
learned
mean,
it?
surely, James, you're not talking about any of the illustrious guests that you put on your lineup tonight.
No. This is just these are maybe hypotheticals.
I mean, I think in a weird way, there is kind of a beauty to having someone who's not a very good guest in a weird
Mm-hmm.
way. I think that if you trust your audience and your audience trusts you, you're kind of in it together,
Mm-hmm.
and if your guest is not going to answer questions, you can kind of have like a wink and a nod where you kind of acknowledge that things aren't going to plan. There was an
Sure.
interview this week on actual radio that went very much off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
And,
In a bad way, you mean, not a good
yeah,
way off the
not
rails.
in a good way. No, I don't think you can go off the rails like in a good way, in all honesty. But someone who was just not answering questions, and it really brought me back to the central point, which is that you're trying to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And if your guest is not trying to answer your questions like with good intentions
Mm.
or in a good way, it really shows badly on them. But honestly, like for all of the shows that I've seen, everyone pretty much shows up here and is quite game,
Okay, so
right?
you're saying that the interviewing is good, the booking is good. Right now,
Yeah,
we're 2 for 2. Okay, so
10 out of
maybe
10.
I'm moving away from being a rogue broadcaster. Okay.
No, I think you've definitely honed your chops. You know what they say about 10,000 hours, right? I mean, apparently that's not entirely true.
Yeah.
10,000 hours of practice is supposed to make you an expert in anything, which is a lot of time when you think about it.
So
But
basically, to get there, I only got to do 700 more episodes.
basically,
All right. Okay. Cool. So yeah, this is all to say. I think I have honed in on them, but I'm excited to see what else I can hone in on.
okay. So one thing I was thinking about was how a lot of our questions, like the basic rules of journalism kind of questions, rule number one is that you don't ask yes or no questions for the most part, right? questions that would just kind of end in like, did you have a good day today? Yes, no. You have to ask the follow-up. That's like a hard rule. But what about questions that really get into like questions you can sink your teeth into? I'm thinking existential questions.
Oh, okay.
Have you broached existential questions on your show so far?
Existential. Yeah. I would say that if there was one word that I would use to never describe this show, it's existential. This is fairly sophomoric, a lot of toilet humor, absurdist, centered around my own tastes. If anything, it's a very selfish show in a lot of ways. Existential. I'm gonna have to say hard no on that one, but you're saying I could stand to be a little more existential with my question.
I'm saying you could go, you could dig deep.
So if I were to say to someone like, hey, how do you think you're gonna die?
No, I'm thinking more like, what does it mean to live a good life? And I would ask you that, James. What does it mean to live a good life?
What does it mean to live a good life? I think it's by having a positive effect on the people that are near and dear to you. I think it's having experiences that are exciting and stimulating for you. And I'm going to round it up by saying starting your day off with a nice cup of coffee.
Right? I thought you were someone who swore off drugs. You know that caffeine is a drug, right?
Look, I've never smoked a marijuana in my life. I've never consumed, a Wildcat or a Black Label. My number one drug is caffeine and entertaining the masses. I'm addicted to it.
Okay. So further to my earlier point about what it is to live a good life, let's ask another question. Would you rather fight one horse-sized chicken or 100 horses the size of chickens?
One horse-sized chicken or 100 chicken-sized horses. I think the logical answer for some people would be like, oh, take the little horses. And some might say, yeah, but the big chicken's got that big beak. Do I have a weapon in this? Do I have like a weed whacker or maybe an old boot?
Let's just, for argument's sake, say that you've got your bare hands.
I'm gonna take the little horsies.
Okay.
Because if you had the little horsies, you could pick them up and snap them or just throw them. A horse-sized chicken could peck you, right? All the little horsies, you can step on them, spray them with a hose.
Okay, here's another question for you. I'm not going to weigh in on whether that was the right answer or not.
All right,
okay. I don't think there is the right answer. Would you rather go through life being happy, but maybe not fully aware of your surroundings?
Yeah.
Or live a life where you're pained, but you're fully aware of everything that's going on?
Yeah, I'll take pained and fully aware of going on. There's a lot of people that I know that are happy, that don't know what's going on. And I'll tell you what, I don't envy them.
Okay.
I'm not going to name any names, right? Maybe they're the haters we're talking about.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Would you like to live an upstanding life, like be an upstanding member of society, but, in secret, you're just a bastard. Like, you're just not a nice person. You steal candy from children. You know that you're an immoral person. Or would you rather live a life where, for whatever reason, people think you suck, but you know that you are a good person? Like, you live a good life, an aesthetic life maybe, and you donate like 10% of your salary to charity or whatever. But people think in general that you're lousy.
Yeah, I'm going to go number 2. People can think whatever they want. I don't mind. But I will say that there's no way that I can give 10% of my salary because I don't make a salary.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, but that means, people like your friends, like everyone on the show tonight.
Yeah.
They would think you sucked.
Yeah. So everyone thinks I suck. It's not just a couple people.
Everyone thinks you suck, but really in secret, you're an angel. You're a saint. You may not give
no,
salary,
I'll take it back. I'll be the bastard.
Okay.
Sounds more fun.
Okay, so you're the bastard to everybody, but you're good in secret, or you're bad in secret and good in public.
Yeah, I'll say bad in secret and good in public, because in fairness, aren't we all a little bad in secret? That sounded
yeah,
naughty. I didn't mean for that to sound naughty. It sounded naughty. Right?
No, we wouldn't want that.
You and I are clean broadcasters.
Oh yeah, no, everything is really like above board.
Yeah.
What would be a better life for you? Would it be to have a tremendous amount of success, but you haven't really earned it, either because you inherited it or by just, luck of the draw, luck of birth, or you try really, really hard, you work really hard, but you don't achieve the modicum of success that you think you are owed?
Yeah, I'll go with number 2, because that's where I'm at all the time. Right? It's not so bad, right?
Okay.
That's not so bad.
Okay. And my last final existential question. Would you rather eat at McDonald's or at Burger King?
Damn, that's really hard, right? Because here's the thing. I eat
That's
at McDonald's.
I for the end.
I eat at McDonald's often, but I don't really love their food. I think their breakfast sandwiches are top of the line. Who doesn't love a chicken McNugget? The thing is, Burger King doesn't get a lot of respect in Canada. I think it's more appreciated in the United States, but I never really dislike Burger King food, right? I'm going to have to go, just by virtue of the breakfast, I'm going to take McDonald's. I'm going to go with Dirty Don's.
McDonald's. Okay, perfect.
I like that of all the questions, this was the one that I had the hardest time answering and felt the most engaged with, right? It says a lot about me as a person. Just a trash.
Okay, just for kicks.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the most preeminent éminence grise of our political scene here in Canada? Is it Jean Chrétien or is it Brian Mulroney?
Now, what was that word you said? Mons Crétise?
Éminence grise.
Éminence grise? Like, what do you mean? Is something
that's
gray?
Kind of the best kind of old school, respected, politician.
Okay. And what were the names again? It was Jean Chrétien and who?
Or Brian Mulroney. Both from Quebec. Chrétien from Shawinigan.
Jean Chrétien is my answer.
Mulroney from Baie-Comeau.
I'm going to go Chrétien because he's a little bit Mulroney's a very by the book politician, where Chrétien was he was a sustain good she new callis, right?
Right.
He didn't try to put on anything. Blah, 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 blah. That's my Jean Chrétien impersonation. Blah, 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 blah.
That's your Jean Chrétien expression?
Well, is there any, Brian Mulroney's well, I'm Brian Mulroney, but then Jean Chrétien comes in. Someone asked him about, whatever trade in between Canada and other countries. He basically sounds like a monster truck. This is what's going to stop me from achieving the heights of which I could truly achieve, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you guys had me on CJAD. It's local comedian James McGee stopping by to talk about his new show that deals with Quebec politics. Oh, yeah, I play all the characters. I do Brian Mulroney, but I've saved my Jean Chrétien for you guys. It goes a little something like this. Bah, 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 bah. And then you guys get a bunch of callers. And they're like, I'm never listening to this station again.
We hear that all the time. And it's always from people who texted the week before, I'm never listening ever again.
Yeah.
And then they text you a week later and they're very clearly listening. So
yeah, someone would be like, you know what? I love that Jean Chrétien young man.
Why not?
Sarah, I think we did it tonight. We achieved the ultimate in first segment entertainment.
I had to ask you the hard questions, and I've been waiting 300 episodes to do that. And I'm so glad that I got to do it.
None was more difficult than that Burger King or McDonald's question. I'm sweating about it. I'm going to think about it in bed later.
You're going to dream of the king fighting Ronald McDonald in a wrestling match for sure.
Well, I think that Ronald McDonald would win because of all the other McDonald's characters, right? Mayor McCheese, Grimace, the Hamburglar. He's got backup.
Right, but I don't think you're allowed to have your friends in the boxing ring. You know what I mean? The wrestling ring.
Okay, so I guess they're playing this by the book, and it's not going to be any shenanigans. Sarah, tonight was full of shenanigans. I really appreciate you being here.
So many more shenanigans to come. I'm so glad that I could kick things off. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for kicking them off. We'll talk soon, Sarah.
Thank you for having me.
That's Sarah Deshaies, one of the all-time greats as far as I'm concerned and as far as you are concerned. Look, here's the thing. I felt like throughout that segment, I was saying things that sounded flirtatious. Is that what's going to happen the next 300 episodes? I become some flirty host? Like Conan O'Brien, this guy used to flirt all the time. David Letterman, kind of a flirt too. I kind of looked at myself as more of a Tom Snyder. There's nothing sexy about Tom Snyder. I'm not saying I'm sexy. I'm not saying I'm trying to be sexy on this thing. The last thing I want to do is be sexy. And there's nothing sexy about working in tech. If you work in tech, you know that to be the case. Without any further ado, it is now time to move on to one of my favorite segments of all the times on this show. It is the Tech Zone with Carla Ma and Dave Kaufman. Carla, Dave, welcome to the welcome to the show tonight.
Hey, thanks for
hi. Whoa.
thanks for having us.
Yeah, you like this new intro?
Intro
This is
music?
Tech sounds. Yeah, this is
What?
tech sounds.
Robotic.
Yeah. So you both got some pretty technical backgrounds. Carla, take us through your background tonight. Very technical.
Oh yeah, I love red and green. It's a color scheme that's used a lot in the movie Amelie. Great watch. It's psychedelic. Reminds me of lava lamps and going through space and time.
It kind of reminds me of like a screensaver from some of the early Windows operating systems.
Oh, they wish they could do this. This is like what they made screensavers in the movie Hackers featuring Angelina Jolie. They made, the cool hackers have these type of vibrant backgrounds.
It's kind of like a
so-
Winamp. Winamp.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's like the Winamp.
So here's the thing. You guys know exactly what you're talking about. Winamp, hackers, movies. I don't know what's going on. Carla coming in from the chat right now. Quote, Carla, we've missed you.
Taylor, hi, I missed you. I miss everybody. And it's
Now-
so good to see all these faces. That
Anybody in the
you can't
chat miss
even
me?
see.
Well, of course, Dave, no one's got an opportunity to miss you because we see your bright and shiny face every Monday and sometimes on Wednesday. Dave, you've got a new haircut.
Aw.
You've
Thank you.
received a sizable raise at your place of work. How are you doing tonight? Tell us about your background.
I'm coming to you live from the metaverse, James.
Oh.
Can you tell us what that is?
The metaverse? Well, it's
Yeah.
the latest buzzword in technology.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure later on, Syd is going to say that me specifically coming to you from tonight's show from the Betaverse.
That's good.
Aw.
Beta.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I came up with a joke. It was my joke.
That's a good one, James.
Now, before we really get into it, guys, what did you think about my impersonation of former Canadian Prime Minister Jean Chrétien?
It kind of reminded me of Cookie Monster.
Okay, Cookie Monster. Dave, how about you?
I liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Well, all right, let's get on with tonight's festivities.
So positive.
Now, it's the Tech Zone. We've got a series of questions. At times, there are some that are specifically geared to Carla or Dave. A lot of these tonight are geared for both of you. We're going to get both of your opinions. So let's kick things off with our first question. This one comes from Suzanne Dowdy. Hi, Carla and David. I hope this message finds you well. I wanted to send you this email to pick your brain and hopefully to get some guidance. I'll begin by saying that I'm a 60-year-old woman and I'm recently retired from elementary school teaching. Upon retiring, I imagined a life of relaxation. I'm 6 months into retirement and I'm bored out of my mind. It wouldn't be so bad if I had a little company. I live in Alberta with my husband and he is often away from home for long periods of time due to his work. That's the life when you marry a rig pig, I guess. Let me cut to the chase. I'm thinking about dabbling in the world of cryptocurrency. Do either of you have any insight on this? Is it low risk or should I be cautious about my investments? If it's any help, my daughter Colleen recently opened up an email account for me. Any assistance would be appreciated. Thanks. That comes in from Suzanne Dowdy. So what do you think? Should Suzanne get into cryptocurrency?
I don't think it's I'm gonna go with I don't think it's the right form of investment for her.
Why is that?
I feel like she needs just based on her comfortability using technology, I feel like it would probably be in her best interest not to until she feels more comfortable with technology in general.
Right. Okay. So based on the fact that her daughter Colleen just opened up her email for her, you're going to go out on a limb here, Carla, and say that she's not that well versed with working a computer, and obviously you need that in order to really get into the groove of cryptocurrency trading.
Yes, absolutely. You need to be on top of it, checking those numbers. Yeah,
I'm going
don't
to take
invest in
the.
elongate.
Sorry,
All
Carl.
right, you go.
I'm going to take the opposite approach. I'm going to say she should go all in.
All in?
The only way you can reach the moon is by firing a couple rockets. And
Whoa!
sure, sometimes the Challenger will explode, but other times, you're Neil Armstrong taking a step on the moon.
You know what? We're going to move on to our next question. Look, this is about the text thing. You're getting point counterpoint here.
Wait.
And we're also touching on atrocities from mankind. Let's move on to our next question. This one comes from Gaetan Villeneuve. Hello. I'll start by saying that I'm a very big fan of the Live with James show. Well, that's not the name of the show. You guys rock. I know this is the tech corner, so you two will be the perfect people to steer me into the right direction. A couple weeks ago, I was watching the Blue Jays, who were in the midst of an exciting wild card race to make it into the postseason. Sadly, things didn't work out for the team, me, or the other members of Jays Nation. In a fit of rage, I stood up from my chair, grabbed an urn that was holding my brother's ashes, and threw it at my flat screen TV. Needless to say, the screen was absolutely demolished and covered in my brother. They always say that when one door closes, another opens. I took this as a sign from above that it was time to purchase a new TV. I know that 4K is huge right now, but I'm wondering if either of you have any tips on picking out the type of TV that will bring the Blue Jays game to life next spring. Any help is great. Go BJs.
Dave?
Yeah, I'll go first. For one, I agree. Go BJs. Woo! I would
sound, Dave.
Woo! That's the sound that the BJ makes.
Yeah.
I would keep your old TV with your brother's ashes on it. I would turn it on and hope that your brother's spirit can inhabit the TV. Anytime you watch a show on it, it'll be like you're watching it with him.
Well, what if the screen's damaged?
Well, you get a couple of parts, get a torque screw, and these things, they're all replaceable. You can get them fixed.
All right.
And that way you
Carla,
can keep your brother around.
All right. Well, Carla, what do you think about Gaetana's problem? Should he get a new TV?
I don't think getting a new TV is his problem. He totally disrespected his past brother. I feel like if he really wants to see the game like he's there, go first of all get a good little dust buster, the ones with a canister, so you can like collect your brother's ashes in a canister. There might be other dust particles in there. There's nothing you can really do about that. And then go put it in a nice new urn and take him to the fucking ball game.
Oh, okay. So you're saying instead of buying a new TV, maybe get season tickets and take the urn full of ashes and various dust and other particles to the Blue Jays game. Enjoy the game live and in color.
That's what his brother would have wanted.
Dave, what do you think about that?
I think it's great.
All right. Let's move on to our next question. Dave, this one is specifically for you. This one comes from Sylvia on Melrose.
Oh, Christ.
Sylvia writes, "Oh, hi there. David, my router is acting up. Can you stop by to fix it? Let's just say that I have a hunch that you know how to really lay down the cable." And then she writes, Sylvia. Now, for people who don't know, when we have our open phone line nights when Dave is hosting, Sylvia is a really big fan of Dave. She's an older silver fox who calls in and obviously has, some type of feeling for Dave. So, Dave, do you have any interest in helping Sylvia lay down the cable?
This silver-haired gal's been after me for quite some time, and I've given her consistent messages that I'm not interested.
Well, Dave,
Now
do
I
you
know I
still
can
have
be
the picture that she
irresistible.
texted you?
Sorry?
You still have the picture she texted you?
Yeah, you want me to show it?
Yeah, so get that picture up. So, Carla, do you think Dave should help Sylvia, who has a crush on him? Her internet isn't working. It's very clear that she's got feelings for Dave. So this is a picture of Sylvia. Dave's coming from the metaverse. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, she is totally overstepping her boundaries. So I think that,
Let me get another look at this picture.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out, but she's gone further than number 3. I'm guessing it might be time for a restraining order.
Now, Carla, outside of that, do you have any advice on how she can fix her router?
She could call like a cable company. I don't know, an internet company.
Sure,
Go call a professional. Stop harassing people.
Yeah, especially a married person.
Especially when they tell you they're not interested.
Yeah. Now, Dave,
even
what
if
do you
their
have
hair
to say
looks
to that?
really good.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, right? Because Dave, I feel like you often kind of leave Sylvia hanging a little bit with a little hope. Do you think you've got anything to do with this type of,
Yeah, well, sometimes because I dress a certain way, people feel liberated to flirt with me. But
because you dress a certain way. What do you mean?
Yeah, they say I'm asking for it. But I've told her several times. I might have to find her a guy to get off my.
All right. All right. Now, do you have anyone in mind that you can put Sylvia in touch with?
I don't know. There's a handsome young gentleman who's going to be on the show later. Dimitri.
Talking about Syd?
Or Syd, yeah.
Yeah.
There's 2 handsome young gentlemen. Maybe she'll go for both of them.
All right. Okay. Well, let's move on to our next question here. Now, Carla, this one's for you. This one comes in from Yasmin Valtros. It's quite a last name. Congratulations on 300 episodes. Wow. This question is specifically for Carla. Carla, I know that you are a fan and avid user of Facebook. What do you think really happened? What do you think really happened with Facebook and its related apps when it went down a couple weeks ago? Don't be shy. You can tell me.
Oh, you want to know?
Yeah.
Oh, you really want to know?
Zone. This is the tech zone, right?
Because they're listening.
Okay. Well, right now we're on an Amazon owned app, so Twitch is
doesn't
okay.
matter.
But, and we're eventually going to upload this to YouTube, which is owned by Google.
Which was hacked also recently.
That's true. Twitch. Well, I recently had to change the stream key.
They revealed a lot of the salaries of the Twitch.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, let's hope mine didn't get out there.
Yeah, I know people would be quite
me
surprised.
than they already do.
It's you and Hassan who are really making in the bank.
Oh boy.
Well, yeah, Carla, do you have any opinion on why Facebook went down a couple weeks ago?
Security.
All right,
I think that's what my feeling is. I think
Yasmin is saying, don't be shy. You can tell her.
I think it was a security thing and they try to cover it up. I think they realize, oh, flippy floop. Anybody can get into this. We gotta turn down the suck on this and shut it off while we fix this nightmare.
And Dave, how do you respond to that? Right? You've been kind of counterpoint all night long coming to us from the metaverse.
I think we gotta decentralize, man. We gotta decentralize the web, baby.
Yeah, baby.
All right, we got a real team of hackers here. We're gonna move on to this is our final tech question tonight. This one comes to us from Twitter. This is at DB_improviser 2021. Improviser spelled IMPROVIZER. DB_improviser 2021.
DB.
He writes, hey guys.
DB database.
Yeah, it could be database, could be anything, right?
Anything.
He writes, I've sent in a couple questions in the past, so I'm hoping I'm not flooding the show's inbox. Anyways, I had something I could use some help with. Like so many before me, I use my computer for streaming, whether it's for music, television, or movies. Streaming is the primary use for my desktop. Let's face it, we've all got our needs. When you want to laugh, you put on a hilarious sitcom. When you
Sure.
want to rock, you fire up the oldies station.
Makes
And when
sense.
you want something to move you, you take a look to the silver screen.
Mhm.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and the late night starts to creep into the early morning hours, I'm looking to be moved, well, in another way. Between you, me, and this dimly lit closet, I've been known to whet my appetite with only the finest in streaming adult entertainment.
Oh my.
Recently, I've noticed that when I'm streaming something good, and I mean really good, I lose track of the URL when I'd like to enjoy it again down the road. I know what he says. I know what you're going to say. Why not just bookmark it or look in your history? Well, this is a shared computer and I have to make sure that I leave things squeaky clean. This is all to say that I'm debating the idea of revisiting a simpler time when one would download their desired content to keep as long as they wish. Boy, do I have fond memories of my days on LimeWire, Kazaa, and Throb Seeker.
It's a shame what happened to Throb Seeker.
I'm wondering, do you think my
RIP.
desktop could handle visiting torrent websites? Do you think my CPU and RAM have what it takes to get me where I need to go? Anyways, let me know. This is a really long roundabout way of asking if he could download torrents.
Okay, that's the question.
He wants to know if his desktop can handle downloading torrents, specifically pornographic ones.
Downloading torrents aren't particularly exerting on the CPU or on the GPU. What you need is you need a good internet connection. You need some disk space, and that's all you really need. You probably need a nice monitor to stream that high quality porno that you're downloading.
Yeah, I mean, I hope there's no ashes on that monitor from an urn.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Carla, what do you think? What do you have to say to DB_improviser 2021? Look, he likes entertainment of all kinds.
Get a tablet, go mobile, but a little bigger, treat yourself. You don't have to share your device with the family. It could be your little thing that you take into bed or the bathtub, away on your business trips. I don't fucking care. I don't want to touch that thing, but you do you, and make it your own thing, your own space. If you're concerned about, somebody else seeing your search history and all of that. But also have an open conversation, because why should those things be so taboo? The more taboo they are, the more that you create.
Carla, this question seems like it's making you really squirm around in your chair a lot.
I agree with Carla.
I think Sarah rubbed off on you. She said to ask those existential questions in an interview type situation. And I think this is one really, really kind of dug deeper.
Okay. Now Dave, what do you think?
Your self-care, privacy. Privacy is important, and it's healthy too.
Yeah, this is kind of transition from the tech zone to the touch zone. Dave, what do you think? You've been kind of taking counterpoints all night long.
What do I think about what exactly?
Well, what Carla just mentioned. Should DB_improviser 2021 get a tablet and use it in the bathtub?
Well, I agree. He should get a tablet and use in the bath. He should use most of his appliances in the bathtub, like his toaster.
Well, that wouldn't be tech savvy, right? To use a toaster in a bathtub, Dave?
I suppose not.
Dave's an expert.
All right. Well, look, as we begin to unwind, this has been another great segment, if you want to call it such. Not a lot of in-depth tech questions, much as there are backgrounds into people's lives. I would love if we could do another tech zone sometime soon. How do you both feel about that?
Here's to episode 400.
So you're saying the next tech zone will be in 100 episodes from now?
I mean, maybe.
Correct.
All right. Well, I think that would probably be that's probably going to take another 6 to 7 months.
You know, it is what it is, James.
Wow, what a way. It is what it is. Well, look, guys, I've said this a million times. The show wouldn't be without your help, so I'm really appreciative of everything that you do and what you've done for the show, and I hope we can do this again sometime soon.
Thank you. I'm going to fade into the metaverse.
Yeah, bye-bye.
David's fading into the metaverse. Carla's fading in to a lava lamp. And that was another stimulating edition of the Tech Zone. We are going to keep this show rocking and rolling. We're going to welcome our next guest. He's been a fixture on this thing as long as I have. So let's welcome Syd Roc to the show. Syd, happy 300 episodes. You were dressed.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the look. The drive to go wild. I've got the move.
So Syd is coming in hot tonight.
I said chill. Up and down there. Fine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy.
We're here to formally announce that Syd is starting his new life as an exotic dancer for hire.
Happy
Syd, how'd you like that? How'd you
300th.
like that introduction? Right, we
That
got a
was
couple
amazing.
surprises for you tonight.
That was amazing. I thank our tech of the night, Devin, for
Yeah,
for-
Devin for the first time is working tech director tonight, as well as he's graduated from production assistant.
That's amazing. You know, you got to keep striving, and you will reach your goals. And I think that Devin's journey has been inspiring to watch, almost as inspiring as watching your 300 episodes take place consistently.
Yeah,
You have taken the pandemic and turned it into a pandertunity.
yeah. You know what? We can work on that, right? This whole segment can be workshopping that whole thing. Well, Syd, look, first and foremost, of course, I thank Carla and I thank Dave. I got to thank you. You've been a fixture on this show. I feel like you can't have one of our milestone episodes without you being here. So I thank you so much for being here. Not only being here, getting dressed for the occasion. You are better dressed than on this show than I've ever been in my life.
Well, I appreciate it. It's pretty hot in this thing, but I was not gonna come on your 300th episode dressed up like some normie, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta-
Leave that to me, right?
There we go.
Now, Syd, look, I mentioned earlier that maybe tonight's getting sexy. For all we know, that blazer comes off, the tie gets loosened a little bit. Maybe by the end of this, you rip open, the shirt buttons go flying, and things really get taken to another level.
You know, it's I won't rule it out,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't bet money on that. You know?
Yeah. Well, Syd, I want to get into the brass tacks of things because you've been here, as I mentioned, just as long as I have, and I think it's fair to say that you and we have a mostly positive relationship, but at times it can get a little dicey. Right now, we can look to the positive. You and I have been on the show. We have workshopped hypothetically the worst possible improv show together. That was a very early episode. We've
Totally.
discussed the merits of Hulk Hogan's sex tape. Right? We've talked about Dave's best and worst characters and performances. And that's the good, right? And then the
Mhm.
bad. There's your underlying disdain for my love of Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Your disinterest in participating in a pumpkin carving contest,
Correct.
right? Your trolling of me in the chat.
My trolling of you in chat is me exercising restraint. You know, because trolling people that you care about is a fine balancing act, and
That's true.
you don't want to go too far, you know.
Yeah. And I think we've stricken that balance most recently when you agreed with Socrates, the pickup artist, that I am in fact a beta.
Beta, yep.
So this is, look, earlier on, we were talking with Sarah about what makes a good guest. Not every guest can agree with everything you say, and you shouldn't agree with everything the guest says. So that's why you and me, I think, oftentimes make a great match on this team. And if anything, this show has really brought us together as people.
You know what? That last part I agree with wholesale. That to the point where I kind of lost track of I kind of forgot everything you said before that. That was a curveball for the good.
Yeah, a
So,
curveball
yeah,
for the
I
good.
agree.
And I think we provide those to each other. And that's why I wanted to make tonight a special night. So Syd, I want to ask you, moving forward, of course, this upcoming Monday, it's going to be episode 301. Is there anything you want to see that's included in the show? We know you don't want Christmas content. It's coming up.
Yeah.
But I specifically want to chat about one upcoming episode at the tail end of the month. It's going to be the at-home Halloween Spooktacular 2021 edition.
Mhm.
Not only did you refuse my invitation to carve a pumpkin on last year's show, you refused it for this year's show off air tonight.
Yes.
But you also really took a lot of umbrage with the way that the point system and point scheme came out last year. So I
Yes.
suspect that that's something you'd like to see change as of Monday and moving forward.
Wait, what you're implying that Monday's show would have an implication on the pumpkin carving competition?
Well, I'm saying that Monday, well, it might, maybe it's up to you. I'm saying that episode 301 is Monday, and that's the sign of things to come.
Mhm.
And of course, in a couple weeks is the pumpkin carving contest. So that might be something you'd like to see change.
Well, here's the thing. I am still salty over last year's pumpkin carving competition, and I wasn't even involved.
Yeah, you refused.
I think that Joe Canto was robbed,
Mhm.
and I am astonished that he agreed to participate again, and I can't feel bad for him no matter what ends up happening to him.
Well, yeah,
This is fool me twice, shame on me territory.
yeah.
And I hope I'm wrong. I would enjoy being proven wrong, but I
Mhm.
will have to see it to believe it.
Now I asked you, Syd, would you agree to be on the judges panel? And that gave you kind of a moral dilemma.
Yes.
Is there anything I can do to get you on this judges panel?
Jeez. I would need I would need a list of criteria and
Okay.
some rules that I would think are sensible.
And I've promised that. I promised that to Joe when I convinced him to come on to the 2021 edition. I would not embarrass him.
And here comes the dilemma, because on one hand, I have I have very little faith in a fair pumpkin competition being possible. However, I have an opportunity to actually, be the change you want to see in the world, kind of thing. And it is very tempting to. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that poli-sci graduate who decides to go into politics and finds out what the parliament is really like, and gets
Sure.
all disillusioned. And it's
Mhm.
like, man, what do I do? So if I am, how can I say this? If I see a set of rules
Yeah.
that is clear and makes sense to me, then I would consider it more seriously. That's not a yes or a no.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say to you, Syd, because you drive a hard bargain, but you're tough, but you're fair. I'm going to come up with the scoring criteria. I'm going to send it to you, and we're going to see if we can make this happen. And maybe, just maybe, you'll even dress up on the air.
I wouldn't bet on that. It's fascinating how whenever we're negotiating one of these things, you make this like extra offer that makes me want to back out entirely.
Well, yeah,
But
I've also asked you to grow a goatee for the
Yeah.
show. There's been a variety of requests.
Yeah, I like getting me there in the first place is the stretch. I
Yeah.
wouldn't go much further than that.
Well, Syd, I'll tell you what, I can be very, very persuasive.
That I don't know if I should be uncomfortable or aroused, but I
Why not
like what
both?
just happened. Yeah, I like what just happened. I
Well,
gotta
Syd-
say, James, this
Yeah.
conversation, like, because when we were talking before the show, you proposed the topic of the pumpkin carving competition came up,
Yeah.
and I suspected it might come up like with me
Mhm.
on the air right now, and this is going a lot better than I thought it would.
Look at that.
So
You want to know
I'll
why?
grant
Because
you
you,
that.
you and I, we understand each other. Yeah,
Mhm.
we might have our differences, right? You think Andy's the best tech. I think I'm the best tech. But it doesn't mean we can't come together, right? Now, Syd,
Yeah,
off the
you're
top.
such a good tech. We can't have a show when it would be you teching.
Well, see, this is where we differ. This is where we differ. Now, Syd, I mentioned we got a couple surprises for you.
Yeah.
Early on, we brought you on to one of the most salacious wrestling theme songs of all time, Sexy Boy, which brought Shawn Michaels out to the ring. But we've got another surprise for you.
Oh,
Now,
Nelly.
I have to ask you, before we do this, do you also have the Twitch stream open on your end?
I do.
I want you to keep your eyes peeled on the screen, because tonight, for the first time ever in at-home history, over the course of 300 episodes, tonight we have our first ever jersey retirement. Syd, we're going to be retiring your jersey live on the air, so we want you to take note of the screen right now.
Wow. I didn't even know I had a jersey. Now
There it is.
There's a delay. Wait, I can't see it yet.
You'll see it in just a second.
It's funny,
Syd?
like, oh wow. Hey, I'm 69. That's awesome. Nice.
Now, Syd, I have to ask you, this is an important occasion. You know, how do you feel knowing that your jersey is going to be risen to the rafters and hanging there for the next 300 episodes?
You know, it's one of those things that you never knew you wanted until you have it, and now that it's happening, I am truly touched and honored. I didn't know I had a jersey. I am glad to see it retired. I am glad to be 69.
Yep. Nice.
Take that, voyeur.
Oh, we're talking about Steph. Oh, yeah. It would have made sense if that was her number, right?
Hell yeah, but it's too late. It's too late. 69 is taken forever, and it's Roc.
I told you, things are getting sexy on this show. Well, Syd, I want you to, again, look at the screen, because now is the moment, right? It's at ice level right now. Watch as your jersey begins to ascend to the rafters. Folks, if you're only listening, please bring your attention to the screen as number 69, Syd Roc's jersey.
If you've never streamed, there's kind of a delay, so I'm gonna. Oh, there we go. I'm already too late, but it should look right now.
Yeah, Syd.
Wow.
Yeah, watch as your jersey slowly rises to the rafters. This is an unbelievable moment. We are retiring Syd Roc's number 69 live on the air. The jersey is slowly going to the
That's like a manual. That's like a manual lever that's pulling.
Look at it as the jersey bids us farewell, hanging from the rafters of the at-home arena.
Wow.
Looks like it stalled there a little bit.
It's coming back down again.
Well, you know
Wait,
what? This is
me saying
Devin is also working the rope and pulley tonight. Syd, is there anything you'd like to say to the audience who has just watched your jersey get retired live on the air?
I want to say, just never give up. Always have a healthy work ethic. Do the right thing long enough consistently, and nothing can stop you.
Syd, thanks so much for being here, and congratulations, as not only we, but you have watched your number 69 go to where it rightfully belongs, hanging in honor and celebration. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the honor. This was unexpected, and I fucking love it. Awesome.
That's Syd Roc, folks. Look, we promised you surprises. Well, I'm not sure if I ever actually said there were going to be any surprises on this show, but here they are. We're going to be back for episode 301 this coming Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to welcome our final guest. I have it under good authority that he's been ripping it up all night long. Let's welcome another builder of the show. It's Dimitri Kyres, live on At Home. Dimitri, welcome to the show. Happy 300.
He's coming in! He's coming in, everybody! Whoa! James! Happy 300, buddy! There he is, everybody! It's James McGee!
Dimitri, it looks like you're having a good time, and if my eyes don't deceive me, you're coming to us live on location from Schwartz's Delicatessen.
The original delicatessen of Montreal, Canada! James! Welcome to episode 300, the after party. I booked Schwartz's, the original delicatessen, Celine Dion's resting place, here on the beautiful Crescent Street.
Crescent?
What street? Saint Laurent Street.
Schwartz's is on Saint Laurent, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. They're all the same.
Hold on, I gotta ask you something, Dimitri. I wasn't aware that Schwartz's serves alcohol. How you drinking in there?
Oh, this was brought in. I asked the good guy at the front, and he said, I don't care as long as you don't throw up. And I said, you got yourself a promise? And then here we are, James. Where are you? Are you almost done your show?
Yeah. Well, you're the last segment. You also mentioned you're throwing an after party. I don't recognize anybody who's there. There's a man with a fedora, and that feels unlikely that I'd invite anyone with a fedora to a party.
They're all here. Thomas Barnwell sitting at the bar right over there.
That's not Thomas Barnwell.
Yeah. Steph Mercier-Voyer.
Who else is there?
Steph Mercier-Voyer right there. Andy Asap's is in the John doing you know what. The whole crowd's here. Dave Kaufman right there, Carla Ma, she's in the corner.
Abe's there?
Yeah. Sarah Day, hanging out in the back by the jukebox, slapping, because she's on the radio.
Jukebox? I wasn't aware that Schwartz has installed a jukebox.
That's Sarah's thing, she does music, so she's DJing in the back right here. Anyway, where are you, man?
Well, I'm hosting. You're live on the air right now with me.
Okay, well, when in Rome, James...
Okay, well, look, Dimitri, I have to say it one more time. Congratulations on 300. We couldn't have done it without you. It's been a big night. Sarah interviewed me. We had the text zone. We just retired Syd's jersey.
James, look at you. You're always saying thanks for this, thanks for that. But why don't you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, you're the guy. You're the guy who brought 300 episodes to Twitch, Instagram, and some parts of East Asia on a website that we're not allowed to say on live.
All right.
Let's just say some.
Well, look, I don't want to thank myself. I feel like that's a little bit egomaniacal. Look, you can't do it alone, and there's a big team that's been helping out. So, and you're part of that team, Dimitri. So I'm glad that you're living it up.
I'm having a great time, and listen, I want to take a moment really quick. James, I barely knew ye. We met each other on the internet, and now I feel like we're surfing the waves of friendship. You're a guy, but you're also a teacher, but you're also a friend. You've taught me this, you've taught me that. We've even played hacky sack. James, what I'm trying to say is, I love you. You brought 300 episodes, but you've brought 300 moments. In a time where we were motionless, stuck in the muck, stuck in the house. We even wore a baseball mouse. What I'm trying to say, James, is you were there when we needed you, and you're still here, just like your ringworm. I'm sorry, I'm drunk.
That's okay. Look, Dimitri, keep going.
You're a great guy. You've done so much. We can never give back what you've given us. A chance to do something at a time when we had nothing. And now we're 300 episodes in, and where do we go? We'll look up at the sky and we'll say, how far, James? How far would you go? That's my little speech.
Well, Dimitri, that's really nice of you to say that. And where are you going now?
Thanks, James. Sorry, I was just getting a sandwich. You want anything?
Yeah, Dimitri, are you not wearing pants?
What?
It looks like you're just wearing boxers.
Oh shit!
Are you behind the counter?
I'm behind the counter. Do you want anything?
Look, yeah, I want a lean
fat.
sandwich. I want to go lean. I'm gonna take the fry. Give me a. I'll do one regular pickle, one.
regular pickle.
Yeah, and then I'll do one half sour.
One half sour for the big boy James.
And I'll do a coleslaw.
Yeah. Hey, what? How many pickles?
Just I want one regular, one half sour, and then I'll do a black cherry. And also,
One half cherry? One half cherry.
Did you call me the big boy or the pig boy?
Pig boy James, half cherry, big pickle, lean and fat.
No, I want a full black cherry, not a half cherry.
Half cherry, big pickle, lean pickle, big lean.
Why are
pickle.
you're shouting away from the kitchen?
No. I'm calling. I'm the ring man. I'm slinging orders back here. Big lean pickle, fat, extra fat cherry soda. Anything else, James?
Yeah, I want to redo my order.
Okay, one big lean fat redo order coming up, slamming. All right, they're gonna put it together for you, James. Anyway, listen, fuck it. We've had a great time this evening. I've had a great time with you, James. Listen, honestly, from the heart, from my heart and to yours, and from everyone here at Swartz, the original delicatessen of Montreal, Canada, Celine Dion's resting place. We love you to death. We wish you were here. 3 more, 4 more, 5 more hundred. Oh, hold on a minute. Sarah Day just put on my favorite
Well, look-
tune.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying Sarah put that song on?
I told you she's DJing in the back. You're not.
Look,
you're missing
again,
the best-
things feel like they're getting erotic tonight.
Oh, Syd Roc's on the table in the back. You're missing. Oh, you're missing.
Oh, he's finally taking his shirt off.
This guy's gorgeous. You should see this guy. He's taking his shirt off. He's whipping it around. He's putting it between his legs, and he's gyrating.
Legs?
Yeah. What are those called? He's gyrating. You should see this character. And Carla.
All right, well, look, Dimitri, I'm gonna close shop up here, and then I'm gonna jump on the metro. I'll get off and I'll meet you guys at Schwartz's.
Come on by and listen. I'll make sure the order is nice and hot for you. Once again, James, I love you to death, buddy. Take it easy. Mwah. And I'll see you in the 400th episode, my friend.
All right, well, I told Dimitri that I was gonna meet him at the restaurant, but apparently the next time I see Dimitri is going to be at the next 300th episode or the 400th episode. Folks, that's our show. We have done it. We have achieved 300 episodes. I have to thank Syd Roc, Dimitri Kyres, Carla, Sarah Deshaies, and Dave Kaufman for being here. It wouldn't be an At Home with James if it wasn't wacky and weird and wild. Off the top, we started with a classic blooper, blunder, and boner. And I think it really set the tone for what is to come. Are we going to get to another 100 episodes? Will we receive and will we achieve 400? I don't know. We're going to see what happens. What I do know that's going to happen is that we've got Halloween programming for the rest of the month of October. It's spooky season. We're going to cap it off with the Pumpkin Carving Contest 2021 edition. We are 100% going to bring you Weird Week, alternative programming on this show. And then guess what? In November, it is going to be another edition of the At Home tree lighting live on the air. Syd Roc won't like the holiday shows, but I will. Until then, not only do I want to thank everyone who's helped and get us to 300, I appreciate it. I love you. To the audience who stuck with us through thick and thin, I appreciate that too. And we'll see you on Monday. Until then, I'm James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and be well.